Hey guys, this is just a little tutorial video. I had a lot of people asking questions about finding the maximum and minimum within a array, and we know three different ways at this point now. So I just thought I'd walk you through real fast. In order to do that, first thing we need to do is we need to have a random array. So let's make one. I've got my basic skeleton up here, and the first thing I need a random object. G random. There we go. So I'm going to make a random array, and I've got one. I got three options. There we go. Okay, so in order to make an array, first thing I got to do is I need to have an array. So int data new int, and we'll keep it simple. We'll just say 25 values. Now, in order to fill those values with something, I need to use an array, or excuse me, a loop, the same loop we've done dozens of times. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load each one of those with a random integer between 0 and 100, or 0 and 99 technically, since we ignore the int value. Okay? And because we won't be able to confirm anything unless we see it, let's do a simple print of the array. Okay, and just to test that, there we go. All right, as you can see, we got 25 random values. They're all under 100. They're all greater than 0. So that's what we'll need to do. So that's our basic things. Now, we've got three different options. First one is the first one we ever learned. We did these way back at the beginning of the year, August, September. And that's just using inequalities. Okay. So in order to do this, I need some starter values or some defaults. And we'll be super complicated in what they are. Now, at this stage, I only need default values, something that I know is going to be replaced. So I'll go -1 and 100. Notice that I have them reversed because I want these to be replaced. 100 is bigger than anything we could possibly generate in the random, so it's my minimum. -1 is smaller than anything I could ever generate in the random, so that's my maximum. These are just placeholders, okay? From there, now I just need to go through and confirm everything. So, for loop back. We'll keep the variables different. We'll do C this time. C is less than data.length, C++. All right, now, a little bit of efficiency coding is I'm going through the loop anyway. So rather than having one loop to do the minimum and one loop to do the maximum, I'll do them at the same time. I'll just use different texts. So let's look at the first one, minimum. So if data bracket C is less than the minimum value, then the minimum's new value is data bracket C. Now I do the exact same thing, and I just swap everything over with maximum. So I flip this. If that number is bigger than the maximum, then the maximum's value is now updated. And that's it, okay? It's not really efficiency coding, but I am getting two different tests done at the same time. It's okay if you need to split those up for your purposes, but it can be done otherwise. Now let's just check our data. Minimum, min. Okay, so here's my random value. It says the lowest one I'll find is 2, and the highest is 95. Okay, there's 2. Don't see anything lower. Okay, coming back, here's 95. I don't see anything taller. So there's option 1. Okay, so for option 2, this is where we're going to step it up a little bit. So we still did these early on, but this would be late September, October, where we were talking about math methods. This is going to use our min and max method. Okay, now we still need some default values, and I'm even going to steal my entire loop there just to be a little lazy. All right, we will switch this up a little bit. We'll go in this time, just to keep these all separate. Now, this uses the math methods. Now, the thing you have to remember is that it only works with 2 values. I still have people that are trying to fit 3, 4, 10 numbers inside a method and letting them work. Those only work if those methods are built and designed to work that way. Math methods are not. They compare 2 values and spit out the highest or the lowest number depending on which one you use. So we have to write a loop that compares 2 numbers at a time and then gives us our ultimate answer. So that's why we have our default value, so we have something extra to compare and we can go all the way through the array. All right? So for this one, we just set the value as math.min. And now what 2 values am I going to compare? Well, I'm going to do my default value, min, and then I'm going to test my value inside the array. All right. Same thing here. I copy paste and then I just swap out for max. I purposely name these things very similarly to make sure that they work. Okay. Go back up here, grab my print statement again, make sure they work. Okay. Notice I grayed out the other one, so only our method 2 is working. And we go. All right. Right off the bat, I see my minimum value 1. It could still generate a 0, but good chance that that's it. And it says, ooh, we got all the way to 99, which is right here. There you go. Max and min identified correctly. Okay, so I've grayed out everything else. This is the newest way, and we just picked this up this month when we started arrays. And this is by far the quickest and the shortest amount of coding you have to do, but you have to understand what it does. All right, this is just telling the array to sort. It takes your information, whether it's numbers or letters, and it puts it in the order from least to greatest. There is no way to edit it. That's just how it does. Now, the thing you have to realize, though, is these only work when it does not matter the order your numbers are in. So something like this, where it's just randomly generated, that's cool. But if you've got things in specific index values because they match with other data, you would need to make a copy before you sort it. All right? Just be aware of that, because this method completely destroys any kind of metadata to know where it was. All right, so this one's very simple. I just issue a command. I don't even have to do anything else. It does not require any default values in this case. I just tell it to sort. And now I will change a print statement though, because now since I don't have those default values, I don't have my variables. When I have everything from least to greatest, the 0 index is always where my minimum value is. So now it's in data, bracket 0. and the end of it, the last box, is always going to have my maximum. So I'm going to continue to be a little abstract so that I don't have to go in and reprogram every time. I'm just going to say data.length minus 1. Make sure that it does that math before it ever calls the variable. And so that's what we've got here. So let's test it. Another random one. 1 is the lowest. Makes sense, I don't see a 0. 89 is the highest, which is right here. That works. So those are 3 different methods to find the max and the min within an array. Hope this helps you guys. Have a good one.